mark the end of an era. More layoffs at DC Comics. Previously in the year, laid off much of DC Comics were as a result of the lockdowns. But now the finishing blow is at hand, and survive into 2021. They may not. Swept over Warner Media, as we reported yesterday, a new wave of layoffs, and that included DC Comics, cut by as much as 25% back in August, although DC's staff were found to be let go. Still more employees were.
I mean, lockdowns did cause a lot, but there was more to it than just the lockdowns. Look at this comic. This is the type of comics that DC Comics was putting out. Gotham High, where they turned Batman into an Asian teen emo, made Joker a hillbilly, and Selena Kyle a valley girl, and then tried to make a Twilight love triangle out of all of it. Yeah, there's more than just lockdowns going on.
Horrifyingly terrible that was, but as always, a price to pay when put out things you do that are gay. Decimation of the direct sales department, more troubling to industry watchers. Gone, everyone is. Looking over an old masthead here I was, including sales manager Stuart Schreck, marketing services director Adam Phillips, and Fletcher Chufong, the events director. Let go in the last round, the executive director of direct sales, Vince Letteretto.
Wow, according to DC's site right now, there's only one employee left on their marketing team, and that's someone named Nancy Spears. That doesn't sound like a company that's going to stick around for very long with almost zero direct sales and marketing involved.
Remember you do? When questioned, Batgirl did, if anything good, being Batgirl, she ever did, and then proceeded to join protesters tearing down statues in Gotham.
That was next level retarded. And what the hell is this guy's problem right here? It looks like Batgirl's breaking his wrist. You better drink a protein shake, you little...
To dissuade rumors that DC is pulling out of the direct market, this shocking house cleaning will do nothing. Or at least on their periodical publishing program, cutting back so much that there is the practical effect. Much respected Spears is in all levels of the industry, but from retailers, I'm getting nothing but gloomy tweets and DMs. Difficult it will be for comic shops, but survive they might, with Marvel still around.
I don't even know if you can really call them like comic shops anymore. So many of them just sell like walls and walls of Funko Pops. And then you got some other collectibles like here and there and stuff. Like you'll have like a little tiny corner of new comics and boxes of old ones. When the Funko bubble busts, a lot of them are going to just be done. It's just going to be a wrap.
Pointed out, as many have, perhaps bloated in numbers. Although, it had a staff, and still made money. The DC Comics line did. Make many cuts Warner Media is having to, in light of the overall shift. Better poised for the future, a slimmer, trimmer company may be. Whatever that is. The end of an era. No matter what else happens, the benchmark at DC Comics and their sales department is now being sold for the direct market. Gone for now. That way of doing business is for the better or the worse.
I don't think people really understand how bad this is for DC Comics. Between the first layoffs and now this. There's a handful of departments now that are skeleton crews, and you got people that have been warned for months that Warner Media was going to come in and clean house at DC Comics just to keep all the IPs, to make movies, games, and cartoons, because that's where the real money's at. It's not comic books anymore. It'll probably happen eventually to Marvel, too.
Think of this, many should, as a preview for what will happen to Marvel Comics eventually. Pay the price they will for the new Warriors.
The sad thing is, comic books should have survived in 2020 if they actually put out good content and expanded more. They could have been in checkout lanes at grocery stores, toy aisles, given out in kids' meals at McDonald's, put in cereal boxes as the prize. Some of the stuff that they actually used to do, but then they stopped. Comic books should have been way bigger than they are now with how popular superhero movies are, but they just didn't try.
Much like try to breathe, you do not.